Okay, welcome back to members of 121 Community Church in Grapevine, Texas, and our ongoing study in Heracleon and his commentary on the Gospel of John. We're looking at Lesson 2. It's going to be pages 20 to 36, and it's going to be supposedly we were supposed to start the text, but we really don't start the text. This lesson is all about methodology, so pages 20 to 36 will address methodology, mainly Valentinian Gnostic methodology. So it'll get us a good perspective from where Heracleon is coming from when he symbolically interprets the Gospel of John. Let's go to block 1 and take a look at examining the three second-century methodologies. You have the Nicene exegesis. It emphasized the three principles of being, matter, soul, and spirit, and the creation of the pneumatikoi, the image of God in humanity, that eventually will return to the Father. There was a very mystical theology approach, and it used Isaiah 28 to show that God is the guide who conveys gnosis knowledge. Humanity will overcome the material world to return to divine origin. And the divine archetype is Jesus Christ. Christ is the light of life. In him is the life that comes to be. Now the Perite exegesis, another Gnostic version, is interpretation that penetrates the literal surface. It defines the causes of becoming, and it is a Hellenistic conceptual approach, and it did emphasize matter, soul, and spirit as a triad. And the three emanations are the unbegotten Father, the self-generating Son, and the eidos, idea forms of the actualized Spirit. The Son mediates between the Father and existence. Valentinian exegesis, that's Heracleon, he synthesized together mysticism and Hellenism. So he takes a mystical approach, but he uses Hellenistic concepts, fully accepting Christian tradition, but surpassing literal interpretation. Therefore, the Nicene speaks of the pleroma fullness and the emanating eons. The Perite speaks of the Sophia wisdom and its creative role, and the Heracleon Valentinian brings mysticism and Hellenism together in the Logos. And so that gives us a very clear look at what Heracleon as a Valentinian is taking as his approach. It is that early Eastern mystical theology that we have been studying this year. We have been really digging into early Eastern mystical theology, but he couples it with Hellenistic concepts. And he did this initially in Alexandria, but later founded a school in Rome as well. So he taught in the East and in the West, both. Let's go to block 2 and take a look at the context of Valentinian theology. Mysticism and Hellenism. Heracleon makes a move toward orthodoxy in taking up Valentinian theology. It has a threefold schema, 3 stages of redemption: pleroma fullness, kainoma emptiness, and cosmos creation. And that is from Valentinian Gnosticism. There are 3 stages of redemption. John chapter 1 refers to the genesis of the whole, from the primal principle being the Father. The primal principle of the Father contains within himself the triune pleroma. Then the Logos is generated, and then the Logos contains within itself all of the eons, Christ and the eons. There is a triune Godhead, and it is a hierarchy. And it is a theology of Valentinian gnosis. It is Valentinian gnosis. John distinguishes between theos, arche, and logos. That is your pleroma trinity. Theos, arche, and logos. A triune unity. The arche begets the logos. Christ is sent out from the pleroma into the kainoma emptiness to deliver Sophia wisdom from alienation. Christ is the light that delivers wisdom, liberating the Sophia from the sarx and from the passions. Christ is a guide to gnosis. Christ is a guide to gnosis. The interrelated creators participate in the world's creation. It is Yahweh who orders and governs the world. So that gives us the Valentinian triad. Theos, the incomprehensible God, who then emanates the Arche Father, and then the Arche Father begets the Logos Son, and the Logos Son sends out the Pneuma Spirit. But it's all in order to guide the spiritual person to gnosis. This is Valentinian Gnosticism. It's not as radical as some Gnosticism, but it still is Valentinian Gnosticism. Let's go to block 3. Christ is the guide to gnosis. The triune stages consist of pleroma, fullness, kainoma, emptiness, cosmos, creation. Fullness, emptiness, creation. Then the eons come into being through the Logos and through Sophia wisdom. So Christ unveils the Sophia wisdom by combining Sophia and the material elements. By energizing the demiurge creator, Christ becomes the energia, actualization. Out of the pleroma, triune fullness. The cosmic context, the Logos actualizes the eons as Logos plus Zoe is eon. Logos plus Zoe equals conception and birth. Logos is the male eidos form. Zoe is the female life force. Form plus life force. The Logos descends from the pleroma into the kainoma to redeem Sophia as light and life. Christ is light and life. Through Sophia, Logos gives birth to the eons, the aeons. Logos plus Zoe plus Sophia equals the aeons, and also brings forth enlightened pneumatic persons through enlightenment and restoration. Or you could say through enlightenment and redemption. But I think block 2 is going to be your key to this lesson, because I really do like block 2 notes 6 and 7. I think that is the key understanding of Valentinian Gnosticism. John distinguishes between theos, the incomprehensible God, arche, the Father, logos, the Son, and then obviously pneuma, the Spirit. The arche begets the logos. John's triune unity. Christ is sent out from the pleroma into the kainoma, emptiness, to deliver Sophia wisdom from alienation. So you can see we have a mystical theology using Greek concepts. That's why I say I think that's the best example. Block 2, note 6 and 7 together give us, I think, a very good concise summary of this lesson. And like I say, I thought we were going to get into the text, but we don't. The next lesson we'll get into the beginning of the Gospel of John. But the next lesson is really just going to take a look at the prologue, okay? And so this ended up being more introductory material. I thought we would be jumping straight into the text. That's not the case. This is a introduction part 2, actually. And our next lesson, we will get into the prologue of the Gospel of John. But go to block 2 and take a look at 6, 7. You could even throw 8 in there, but that really is the additional introductory material we need, because that is the methodology. That is Valentinian Gnosticism. That is the Heracleon method. John distinguishes between theos, the incomprehensible God, arche, the Father, logos, the Son, pneuma, the Spirit. The arche begets the logos. Christ is sent out from the pleroma into kenoema, emptiness, to deliver Sophia wisdom from alienation. Christ is the light that delivers wisdom, liberating the wisdom from the flesh and from the passions. Christ is the guide to gnosis. He is the revelatory logos who guides us to that gnosis, which is salvation in the Valentinian Gnostic methodology. So it's a very important second introduction. Pages 20 to 36, and that'll wrap up the 3 second century methodologies, the Valentinian theology, and Christ as a guide to gnosis. And I'm pretty sure that next lesson we take a look at John's prologue.